Alright, yet another edition of Huckins on Film, whether you like it or not. And today we're going to be discussing Cuba's first entry into the zombie genre. At least the first that I know of, Juan of the Dead. And I know what you're thinking, oh god, it's a Shaun of the Dead wannabe. And, it is very similar to Shaun of the Dead. It's very much two guys trying to make their way through a zombie. But it's very different in a lot of ways. Because Juan and his friend Lazaro are basically, Juan is Sean, Lazaro is Ed. They're not slackers. There's definitely a slacker element to them, but they're also schemers. Well, technically they are criminals. Very small time, just thieves. They're not violent or anything. But they have a little enclave, the couple of friends, La China, who's actually a dude, but is incredibly effeminate. I mean, we're talking Chris Tucker, Fifth Element, without the testosterone. And he's a pretty damn funny character, but he's incredibly effeminate. And his boyfriend, El Primo, who is this black dude who looks like he's huge. I mean, he looks like he's gotten mad and thrown a compact car in a fit of rage. He's a burly motherfucker. And, of course, there's Lazaro's son, Vladi California. Don't ask me how he ended up with that name. They don't go into it. They don't really need to. And basically, these five guys, in the middle of a zombie outbreak, well, like I said, they're schemers. The best part is they're schemers in a communist country. So what's the first thing they decide to do in a zombie outbreak? Capitalism. Yep, they start up a zombie extermination firm. Well, it's not really a firm technically, but it's just, yeah, you pay us, we'll come to your place, we'll take care of your zombie problem. Juan of the Dead, we kill your loved ones. That's their actual slogan. Yeah. And all while he's doing this, Juan's trying to reconnect with his daughter Camilla, who's just come back to Cuba. She was living abroad with her mother because, well, Juan's kind of hard to deal with between being a slacker and being a criminal. He's not a terrible, violent person, but he is kind of amoral. I wouldn't put him in that flat-out sociopath category, but really isn't too concerned about anyone but himself. Maybe Lazaro, that's about it. And as the movie goes on, you kind of see him regain some of his humanity, trying to reconnect with Camilla, who, by the way, is absolutely smoking hot in this movie. Hold on. Whew, camera just got a whole lot of face right there, didn't it? Yeah. Actress named Andrea Duro. And, oh my god, she is delectable. Especially when she dons her, well, it's not really her battle outfit, it's just that when she's fighting, she's got a couple of thigh holsters, but they've got like claw hammers in them, tiny shorts. She's rocking a very Lara Croft outfit. I doubt that's an accident. And when they start fighting the zombies, their weapons are the best part. Because La China, he fights with a slingshot. Actually ends up being pretty useful. And he fights in tandem with his lover El Primo. And they have to fight together because El Primo has to fight blindfolded, because even a drop of blood and this gigantic tank of a man kills right over. He's done. So he has to fight blindfolded. And La China's shouting out instructions to him. And they actually develop a fighting style off of this. It's pretty creative on their part, and it's also funny as hell. Vladdy, California, he, like many Cubans, he has a fondness for baseball. So he doesn't mind hitting baseballs at zombies to take them out that way, or just straight up wailing on them with a bat. That's what I would do, more sensible technique, but hey, you know what? If you're a good spray hitter like that, I guess you can do it. Lazaro just has 2 machetes. He's nothing overly creative or special for him. He's just gonna hack everything to bits. A Max Brooks approved strategy. Juan, he probably has the most esoteric weapon of all of them. Well, he has 2 he likes to use. A pair of nunchucks and a boat oar. Yeah, he spends a lot of this movie beating on zombies with a boat oar. Mind you, this isn't one of those lightweight plastic ones or anything. It is a big, heavy wooden cudgel. Somehow he's able to move pretty fast with it too, because Juan's... I mean, he's definitely in shape, but he's a pretty slight guy. He's one of those you think he would rely more on speed than anything, but to swing this oar, that's just gotta be brute force. Hey, you know what? It's a zombie apocalypse in a poor country. You just kinda have to improvise. And the zombies actually show up fairly quickly in this. Like, the first zombie actually shows up 2 minutes in. Juan and Lazaro are out on a raft. Oh, by the way, Lazaro's other weapon is a harpoon gun that he should not be allowed to touch ever. Because there are a few times where it just ends up being a comedic prop. What you're thinking, how can you use a harpoon as a comedic prop? Violently. And there is plenty of violence in this movie. They do not skimp in that department. The only problem I have with the violence was the gore is mostly CG. I don't want to beat that dead horse, but I just don't like CG blood at all. I don't think it looks right. But I mean, that's probably my biggest nitpick of the whole movie. So I'm not gonna go into a tirade about the CGI blood or anything. Now, as it is Shaun of the Dead inspired, obviously, this movie's really funny. Because even in zombie hunting, a lot of stuff goes wrong. Well, actually, Zero of Zombie Apocalypse, you'd be amazed how much slapstick you can have going on. But these guys took it up to another level. I'm trying to, because there's one scene in there that had me on the floor. Okay, I think I can do this without spoiling anything. There's a scene where Juan is handcuffed. Juan has been handcuffed to someone who has been infected. And, you know, he was fine when they're first handcuffed, but now it's, oh crap, they're infected, and I'm handcuffed to them. What do I do? So, zombies trying to eat him. Juan's trying to fight him off. And it looks like they're doing the tango. And then the music comes in. And the music is a tango. And the lyrics to their singing in the tango describe almost perfectly what is going on at that particular moment. You really have to see it to get the full effect, but it is funny as hell. Seriously, I was just cracking up the whole time. And as, oddly enough, comedy like this, the comic relief, the timing is almost all perfect, really. You know, it's funny when it's supposed to be. It's serious. Somehow they maintain the correct tone for the most part. But, I mean, there are parts where it does get serious. I mean, near the end, I'm not giving this away. But near the end of the movie, I had a couple of genuine man tears going. Seriously, the ending made me kind of verklempt. Or I should say near the ending. And right after that, there is just a scene of absolute badassery. It's like, you still got the man tears going, but after you see the shot right before it goes to the credits, you just stand up and yell, "Fuck yeah!" Because it is one of those scenes, and his balls grew 3 sizes that day. Excellently done movie. The acting is great. I don't know. Oh, sorry, I can't remember the actors' names. Jorge Molina, he plays Lazaro. Lazaro is... Honestly, Nick Frost Ed has nothing on Lazaro. I mean, Ed's just a lazy sack of crap who cannot hold down a job. Lazaro's kind of just flat out vile. Oh, and also, Vladdy California is his son. He's not nearly as big a screw-up as his dad, but, oh, man. Yeah, Lazaro's just... There's more than a few scenes with him where it's just like... What are you doing, dude? Not cool. Also, though, one thing that might bug people with this movie is that there's quite a bit of, at least more than a few moments of flat-out homophobia in this thing. And I don't claim to be an expert on Cuba, but Cuba is an incredibly Catholic country. And Cuba's not very friendly to gay people. Which is funny because there's plenty of gay characters in this movie, but there are also a lot of parts where they're calling zombies maricons. Great way to talk to a gay person if you want to get punched in the face. If you don't, I suggest you not use that word. You got Urban Dictionary. You can check these things out for yourself. But it is very, very funny how, a couple of them are gay, and they're totally cool with them, but at the same time, they're just totally throw around anti-gay slurs at the zombies. And they don't really try to explain... Actually, they do kind of explain the zombie epidemic as there's like a town meeting. And then the lady is giving it. She is going on about... She starts to talk about something pertaining to some disease or something. But the camera cuts away because the five of them are in the back. And they're talking about the first part of the meeting, which is talking about the local rash of car radio thefts, which the five of them have been largely responsible for. So they're trying to figure out how to deal with that pickle, when all of a sudden Zed comes through the door and attacks. Well, the first Zed is 2 minutes in. Juan and Lazaro are on a raft. They're just talking. Fucking zombie pops up. He's wearing a red jumper, clearly an escapee from Guantanamo Bay. And Lazaro, for the only time in the movie, actually uses the harpoon in an intelligent manner. But of course, him and Juan just say to each other, let's keep this under our hat. Instead of telling people, so that maybe an appropriate response could have been attempted. And of course, when the shit hits the fan, it just gets mostly funny. As for the characters' amorality, Juan and Lazaro love to use telescopes and binoculars. Check out the ladies. And I've got to say, if all the women in Cuba look like the women in this movie, I'm packing my fucking bags. I'm there. Because, oh my. I know, not the case, but still. It's a tempting thought. In fact, also, another thing this movie features, I'm not going to show you how they did it. It features the greatest decapitating machine possibly ever, if not at least the best one since Caligula. Yeah, I just dropped a C-bomb. And you know what? I'm pretty confident about that prediction. I'm not going to give away how it works. But the best part is, it is operated by a priest, by an American. They never said where he was from. It's funny, I think he's supposed to be an American priest, but he doesn't speak Spanish, but he's clearly got a thick Hispanic accent of some kind. So I think that's just one of those moments where the director's just kind of saying, just work with me here. And he's a priest in a zombie flick. You know what he says at one point. And if you don't, you need to watch more Peter Jackson movies that don't have fucking hobbits in them. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you. You're going to get a copy of Dead Alive, you're going to watch it, and you're going to fucking thank me. And while you're out there getting that copy of Dead Alive, pick up Juan of the Dead, too. You're not going to regret it. Also, the tagline, one of the worst puns ever. Let's see that. He's Havana bad day. Sorry, he's having a killer day. Fucking illiterate, what do you expect? But yes, I cannot recommend Juan of the Dead wholeheartedly enough. It's got great action. It's completely hysterical. It's got a lot of genuine heart to it, too. It's one of those no one's mailing it in. Everyone's feeling their role. Not at the end. I mean, it was... It kind of had that moment everyone has at the end of every Pixar movie ever, where it's just like, a little dusty in here, that's very annoying, fuck, my allergies suck. Not a speck of dust in the room, but everyone just kind of goes with it. But yeah, that's Juan of the Dead. I cannot recommend it highly enough. That's Kyle Huckins for Huckins on Film. Fucking off.